Hello and welcome, my armed and winged fat baby matchmakers. Valentine's Day is a day that we celebrate love, romance. Movies whose only plot is, look how many celebrities we cast in this. Probably some of them are gonna kiss on the mouth. Sucrose, capitalism, and fear. Fear of being alone, dying alone. Anyway, let's get started. In the spirit of love, I've used a lot of pinks in this soft glam look today because, of course, of the association between the color pink and love, which I assume exists because of the way that it mirrors the anatomical color of our pulsating hearts. I can think of no other reason. In the spirit of capitalism, I will be using products that I hope that you buy because I made them, and they're available for pre-sale right now. You can bundle the palette by Salt New York with Crème Tint Pro. Today I've done these 6 shades in the large size or in the new mini with 4 shades just during the pre-sale for 50% off and with free worldwide shipping. Also for Valentine's Day, I'm throwing in an extra cream tint. There'll be details at the end of the video into your bundle. Salt is zero waste and sustainable and very cool. So I'll put a link in the description box to go check that out. I hope that you do. And now let's get started with this celebration of burning loins and maybe a dead guy who died for someone and arrows. I don't think I know what Valentine's Day is, but I don't think I need to. Okay, all right, I'm going to start with my eyes and I'm going to just put down a little bit of concealer as a base. Would eyeshadow primer work better? Yes. Do I own any eyeshadow primer at this time? Apparently, no. Now I'm gonna do the easy to replicate, flattering on every eye shape, lazy person sort of consistent eyeshadow formula that I like to use. I've talked about it in other videos, but basically I'm going to take these two, this light pink and this darker shimmery pink, and I'm going to mix them together, and I'm going to apply that as kind of the base all over my lid, looking straight ahead in the mirror. So when you're doing this on your face, you will look straight ahead into your mirror, not mine, because you're not here with me, so that wouldn't make sense, just to be totally clear. So you look straight ahead in your mirror, and wherever your crease is, so this is why it works for hooded eyes or otherwise, because it's based off of your own face. Wherever your crease is, you're going to take the color just past it. So you'll close your eye again and then apply it all over your lid and check as you open your eyes, wherever your crease is, just blend it out a little bit past that. That's your first step. So I'm first taking that darker color and I'm packing it on to the lid in that placement we just discussed. So I've placed it on the lid and now I'm opening my eyes looking straight ahead and just smoothing the edge so that it creeps up on out my crease. That doesn't sound gross at all. I didn't add anything more to the brush. And then with my finger I can kind of clean up on this angle of the corner of the nose through the corner of the eye. It's a quick way to just remove any straying bits. Now I've wiped any excess off of my brush and I'm going to use that lighter shimmery pink to just layer over top of that because I want it to be soft glam. I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to use this taupe color, which I forgot to say, this is a mix of ColourPop and Marc Jacobs shadows. Don't totally remember which are which, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to use this taupe color, and with a very light hand, I'm going to look straight ahead in the mirror and just go on the outer half of my socket bone area, kind of by my crease. I have hooded eyes, so I'm keeping my eyes open for the most part, and I'm just being so gentle. Then I'm closing my eye, again with a light hand and tapping off any excess, or you can kind of swirl off the excess on the back of your hand or a tissue. I'm going right along this angle again, corner of the nose through the corner of the eye. So imagining a line there, and then from that point in, just blending it in. And without adding any extra product, I'm just kind of blending it up along that angle as well, this guy. Okay, for those keeping track, our simple eye shape that's easy to recreate is use a medium toned color. A lot of times a shimmery color is going to be easier to blend. All over your lid, look straight ahead in the mirror, blend it up so it's peeking out of the crease, then use a slightly darker color and a light hand. And by light hand, I mean sometimes it helps to hold back further on your brush handle, or literally back your hand away a little bit so you're just getting the tips of the bristles touching. If you have a tendency to like go too hard, that can be helpful. And you're going to look straight ahead again. And I didn't say this before, but from the highest point of your upper lash line out, so when you look ahead, that's kind of where you want to start that blending along the crease and out. Then close your eye, imagine this angle of the corner of the nose, and blend in from there down into your lash line, and just keep everything really soft and light, and you're going to have a flattering, lifting, defining shape no matter who you are. Now I'm going to dampen a little thin smudgy brush, and I'm going to use this dark purple, and I'm going to use that pretty much in place of my liner. I might smudge a little liner in at the end if I decide it needs a little more oomph, but right now my plan is to just use a little bit of this and smudge it into the lash line because it's easier and faster. And I want to be desirable, but I also don't want to spend a lot of time on making that happen, or effort. This is another one of many times when the highest point of your upper lash line is relevant to you, because from the highest point of your upper lash line on this curve out, you're going to thicken this application a little bit, and then inward, you're going to make it as thin as you can. So my highest point's like right in there. I'm going to be using a little broader strokes from that point out. And then this angle again, corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, or you can also view it as like an extension of your lower lash line coming up. Either one of those works. You can get a slightly different effect, so play around on your own face and let me know what you find. And then from the inside, I'm gonna just get as close as I can. I'm getting a slight winged effect by carrying this up on this angle and letting it taper down into that highest point of the lash line. Now I'm going to use the same smudgy brush and these first two colors again, and I'm going to put them along the lower lash line. Sometimes I feel weird about the fact that I use like the same few brushes and colors, and I don't have eye looks with a lot of different things going on, and I'm like, oh, am I being boring, or am I not doing this right? And then I remember that I'm sort of looking to a standard set by other beauty YouTubers, and I was thinking about it, and I realized probably you guys are like me and don't want to use a bunch of brushes and colors, and I think that there's two reasons why a lot of products get used on the eyes. The first one is obvious, which is like selling you more stuff. Like the more brushes you use and the more colors you use, the more stuff you guys will go buy. And then the other one is, I think, I don't really hate on YouTubers that don't have a professional makeup artist like background, and I think it's fine for them to call themselves a makeup artist, because if you do makeup art for your job, that I don't think that's bad. But I do think the perspective difference is that if your experience with makeup has been putting it on your own face, like on your own schedule, then, and this is, I think, for people that aren't necessarily motivated just by like trying to upsell you guys, but still do that like for artistic reasons, you kind of have the luxury of playing with a bunch of stuff. But for me, I can't carry around a million things in my kit, and I don't want to, and I don't have like an hour to sit there and do somebody's makeup. Like, we have to get it done quickly and carry around a specific thing and recreate it the same way all the time. So anyway, occasionally I have to remind myself that I just have a different viewpoint and background, and that's why I just use the same stuff over and over. And I'm going to use just a little bit of the dark purple on the outer corner of the lower lash line, connecting those two just a little bit. I don't want to make this area dark because I don't want the eyes to appear droopy. All right, moving on to my base. So it's Valentine's Day, and I'm guns to be getting my picture taken by myself while I lay on my pull-out mattress, which my friend the other day lovingly referred to as a flippin' fuck. and dip strawberries in Nutella while I watch Schitt's Creek. Don't feel bad for me, it's literally my favorite thing to do. So anyway, it's worth it to me to put in a little extra effort on the complexion, get some coverage on this Beautimus breakout. So I'm going to use a concealer brush, and these are the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, which I've just like scooped out into some empty metal pans and put in my palette. And instead of being really precise like I normally am with just like covering the specific acnes, I'm pretty much just caking this shit on, which is, if you've been here for a while, not something you probably ever thought you'd hear me say. But I'm just going to circle back again to that thing I said about how I want to be desirable, but with minimal effort. So I don't really feel like sitting there because I just have been blessed. I've been blessed with a plethora of acne lesions, active acne lesions. And so I'm just sweeping over them. Although this concealer is the shit because I have not dipped back in. Like, this is one dip's worth. So I like to shellac that on. It's a dark time, guys. It's a dark time. And then take my damp beauty blender. This is not a beauty blender. This is a knockoff beauty blender by Real Techniques. And I kind of just press it in and I feather out the edges that way. So if you've seen my tutorials before on concealing, I usually do a miniature version of this where like for each spot it's like cover it with the brush and feather out the edges. I basically just did a giant that and covered the whole thing and then blended out the edges with a sponge. Because that's where we're at. It should also be noted that I just used some strong words like shellac and cake, but I did actually use a really thin layer of the concealer. That's part of why I like the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer so much, because it blends out really well, as you just saw. Like, it covered most of my face with one dip, but it also has a really high pigment concentration, so you don't have to put on a thick layer, which matters a lot to me because I do still pretty much hate makeup and the feeling of makeup and touching makeup to my skin. Weird stance to take for a makeup artist, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to take my Holy Grail, which I do want to find a cheaper alternative to. I'm going to venture out soon. I'm not ready yet. The Kogan Dough Aqua Foundation and my damp Not Beauty blender, and apply that all over my face. Patting where I want more coverage, under the eyes, over my acne, and then swiping in areas where I don't so much. Making sure I keep it really light along my hairline. Now that everything's all evened out, I'm going to go in with the Crème Tint Pro Sculpt and Bronze in the shade Light Medium and a buffing brush, and I'm going to put it on my face. And I'm just going to tap this into the areas where the sun would hit my face, so predominantly my cheekbones, forehead, and nose. Speaking of not liking the way that makeup feels on my face, I am incredibly proud of the fact that this is quite comfortable, and pretty much every person that I have put it on has said some form of like, wow, it's crazy, this is really comfortable, I don't even feel like there's anything on my face. And I'm like, yes. It's also non-comedogenic and therefore not making my acne worse, which is proven by the fact that I was like, it's kind of funny, my whole breakout is like in the opposite spot of where I put it, so there's the proof that it doesn't make your acne worse. And cruelty-free and vegan, and just nice sheer buildable coverage, looks incredibly natural. Basically, it's very good. The Sculpt and Bronze tints come in 6 shades, which you can bundle all together if you're a makeup artist, or you can put them with the lip and cheek creams and the highlighters. I've got a mix in this palette right now, as you can see. And now I'm just taking whatever's left on the brush and putting that throughout the rest of my face so that I don't have any harsh transitions. Nobody wants a harsh transition. And I'm going to take the cool tone shade Contour and the tip, just the tip of my sponge, and I'm going to put this underneath my cheekbone a little bit. And I'm going to start this where the top of my ear meets my head down on the angle towards the corner of my mouth. That is going to be true for your face too. Wherever your ear and mouth corners find themselves is fine. And I'm going to bring it down on that angle and taper it so it ends right around this line of the corner of your eye. I'm just going to tap and press that about the width of a finger. Want it to be precise so that it really just looks like a shadow. And because I really want this look to be radiant and sending a message of mate with me, I'm luminous, I'm going to take the Sculpt and Bronze cream tint from the Radiant range, Radiant Warm Tan, and this one is like slightly darker than me, so I use it as kind of a bronzer, or almost like something to just adjust the finish and warm things up a little bit. And I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to touch onto my cheekbones for the most part, but I'm going to do a little bit of this up into the brow space. I'm concentrating it the most along my cheekbone. So you can see I've got it on this side, got a little glow, sending off like, look at, I'm probably ovulating, I glisten. And then this side, I'm like, nope, no, sir. Now because I want to kick it up a notch, I'm going to use Radiant Beige, and I'm going to apply that just to the highest points of the cheekbone, a little more concentrated, so that when I look in the mirror and practice saying David the way that Alexis says it on Schitt's Creek, I'm also thinking, what a radiant angel you are. Yes, suck on that glow, why don't you? Suck on it. Ooh, ooh. And I'm going to use the same buffing brush and the lip and cheek cream tint in Rose, and I'm going to apply that to my cheekbones. And you can feel the placement you want to have. Instead of smiling or anything like that, you can just literally touch your face and feel where your bone is poking out. You're going to hit that bone. And the idea here is that I'm flushed, I'm flirty, I'm fresh, I'm friend. I'm a friend. All right, so now I'm going to fill in my brows, and I find it's really helpful while I do this, just kind of ruminate on some Valentine's thoughts, like, for example, off the top of my head, am I capable of romantic love that is fulfilling and sustainable, or is it only attainable for people whose desire to not be alone outweighs their intelligence and self-respect? And are they ultimately better off despite their low standards, or are other people just nicer and more patient than me, and therefore more capable of experiencing joy within intimate relationships? Who's to say? Am I right? I just wrote that. Are my standards too high to experience love? I'm almost 30 and I've never been in love. Because I think all people are gonna be trash at some point. So I refuse to engage with anyone who might really see me. Happy Valentine's! Monogamy goes against human nature. Can I ignore that in order to find love? And now little first impressions with this Hourglass mascara that I have not yet tried. See, the problem is that I actually really like being alone. Truly. One of my dear friends whose presence I greatly enjoy was supposed to come over the other night. And as the day was going on, I was like, oh, it means I can't lie on my flippin' fuck and watch Schitt's Creek alone. Or do my little, like, evening meeting with myself to check in and see how we're doing. And I almost canceled, but I didn't, and we had fun. Actually, my friend Angie that was in my video the other day, that's so funny. And she's also the person who named my mattress the Flippin' Fuck. But the thing is, can I push against what I think I know about human beings in order to cohabitate with one? When ultimately it's hard to believe that the benefits of a relationship can outweigh how much it depletes you. You guys, I think this is the beginning of my one-woman musical. I mean, really, I only run into issues when I make the mistake of listening to a particularly stirring soundtrack or watching a show like Fleabag, which I thought was going to be like right up my alley, and then slapped me in the face, right, with all this love, unexpected, these stirrings, right? Yearning. It makes me start to yearn, and I don't want to yearn. Or do I? Because is the point of human existence to feel the full range of feeling? And am I denying myself that because I don't want to deal with how annoying a person can be and how annoying they inevitably will be? Powerful ballads here coming out. A woman of many talents. Also, if you were hoping for my take on this mascara, I don't know what to tell you. I blacked out while I was applying it, thinking about how I'm going to EGOT off of this musical I just wrote. It looks fine, felt pretty dry, but that's probably because I applied 1,000 coats right in my musical. It's for the things we sacrifice for our art. Now I'm going to pop on some lashes, and I just did a video on this whole process, depending on when this one comes out, either yesterday or the day before. So you can watch that. Alright, now I'm going to do some fun layering on the lips, and I'm going to take Lip and Cheek Cream Tint in Raspberry, and I'm going to put that all over, and then I'm going to put a little bit of rose kind of throughout the center, just add some dimension, and then I think I'm going to put a little bit of warm tan, add some sparkle. I love this color. Fun fact, I modeled it after the color that my cheeks get when it's really cold in the wintertime here in New York. That's so pretty. Do I want to layer the stuff, like I said? Let's layer it and see what happens. We can always go back to this if we want. Okay, putting a little bit of rose in the center. Okay, yeah, that's cute. Now let's see what happens when I add warm tan. Will I be filled with regret? Let's find out. No, I'm not. That's nice. And so comfortable as well. Alright, that's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it. Got my creative juices flowing. Really looking forward to my EGOT. I'm going to start working on my acceptance speeches right after I finish filming. Don't forget to head over to saltnewyork.com and check out the pre-sale for this Valentine's weekend in the celebration of all of these fun things we've discussed. I'm going to throw in a free cream tint with your bundle. If you just put when you check out, there's a little spot where you can add notes, put which color you want, and I will add that to your order. That's just on the bundles, which only during the pre-sale, only during the pre-sale, are also 50% off with free shipping worldwide. You can bundle the mini with 4 cream tints, plus you'll get the bonus one through Valentine's Day weekend, or you can bundle the large with 6 cream tints, and then obviously you have room for other things as well. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at Kiki G Makeup, and you can follow Salt at Salt New York. Should I get a TikTok? Here's the thing. I want to have a place where I can sing Disney songs and probably iron out the details of my musical. And right now I don't feel like I have a current platform where that makes sense, and I don't want to be beholden to another thing to post on, but if I can literally just use it as a place to sing along to things and be an idiot with only minimal judgment, then I will hop right on that. So let me know if that's something that I should partake in. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment with your Valentine's plans. I would Really love to hear them. And, whether or not you believe in the existence of love or if you think it's just a capitalist construct. Have a lovely rest of your day, and may it be free of existential crises. I'll see you guys later.